Author note, chapter polishing. Play button. Clarity by Zed is the theme song for this chapter. By the way, these are the outfits about or what they are wearing. In case some of you want to vision it. Izuku Midoriya studied himself in the mirror. He fixed his collar and bow tie, leaving his curly dark green locks the way it was. Izuku clasped his fists together, flashing back to the advice from his friends. It's Ochako, the one who gets him the most. The girl he loves, the love of his life. All he has to do is be himself and everything will work itself out. It's finally happening after all this time. I'm going on my first official date. With Ochako, the person who brings out the best of me. He gave himself a thumbs up and left. Midoriya made his way to the common room. As he waited patiently for his date, Okacho Uraraka fluffed out the bottom of her dress, adding a silver clip to her side bangs. She felt the chills rise up in her back and breathes, adding another more lip gloss on her lips. There was a moment in my life where I didn't think this would be possible. Now it's as real as ever. Deku is my inspiration, the person I feel safest with. Tonight I just want to give him the same back. Ochako glided down the stairs in her pink off-the-shoulder dress with black heels, to see a handsome green waiting for her, with a green bow tie and black shoes matched with his iconic red shoes. At the end of the steps, Izuku clenched her hand. They gave each other the same affection, which sent sparks through their bodies. You look beautiful, Ochako. She never looked away from his beautiful emerald green eyes. The girl blushed, glancing down embarrassed. Oh Izuku, do I really? Thank you. You look great, too handsome. The green chuckled as his cheeks turned red. Thanks, you always are. He complimented. His emerald eyes filled her brown ones, as they admired one another's appearance. The feeling only the two of them felt, even with no words said. It was like they were the only two people in the world. We should get going, shall we, my lady? He raised up one of his eyebrows, being his dorky self, making her laugh. Just the way Ochako liked it. This made her feel comfortable around him. That he wasn't trying hard to impress her. Unlike other guys would, that made Izuku different. Although he himself would probably disagree. She grabbed his arm, resting her head to feel him. We shall. The couple take a bullet train to Shibuya, where the Mitsuko restaurant was at. As they approached the front door, both of them recognized two familiar faces, Ida and Yayorizu. Their friends' smiles come from the both of them. Ida, Yayorizu, you guys came after all. Izuku greeted with an excited expression. Of course we did. Anything to help a friend and have a night to ourselves. Ida mentions, pushing up his sliver-reflected glasses. Plus my dad owns part of the company. I've been wanting to come here for a while. Story continues below. Yayorizu pointed out with a smile. Ochako lightly pulled Deku's arm. He looked at her, nodding his head, reading her signal. Let's all head inside. Izuku and Ochako get their own table, while Ida and Yayorizu get their own, not too far away from them. They studied the choices around them. Ochako skimmed through the menu in an instant. So many options to pick from. There is so much mochi. I don't even know where it begin. Ooh, I know, how about we just order everything? Ochako's fangirl side started to come out. The same way Izuku does when it comes to heroes. She was really happy. It also put a smile on his face. Little things like that made them feel safe with each other. Another reason why the two were so good together. They were so alike in so many ways. Both had big goals and learned so much from each other. Izuku chuckled and shook his head. You and me couldn't be more alike. How about we start with the miso soup and salad before dessert? I mean if that's what you want. Izuku started off the nervousness, taking over his confidence. He felt just a few minutes ago. She playfully rolled her eyes, then lightly touching his hand to comfort him. Of course we're going to have the meal first, silly. He fidgets, scratching the back of his neck. Yes, sorry I said that. I was just giving my opinions. She giggled. There's nothing to be sorry for. Deku, I'm your girlfriend. You don't have to worry about being anything else with me. Bu, I love you. He chuckled and smiled. Right. I love you, Ochako. You're the only one who gets the real me, Ochako. So thank you for everything. I really appreciate you. He squeezed her hand that sent butterflies to her stomach. Oh Izuku, I love you for so many reasons. Sometimes I try to just run away from everything. Yet, you keep running after me to the point where you'd even risk your own life. All for me. I can never repay you for that. So thank you for always finding me. You're always there to catch me. They gave each other that look of comfort again. They were lost in each other's eyes. Soft music played in the background. A spotlight on them behind the spotlight in the balcony. Yayorozu giggled as she winked her eye. Eyes on the two lovebirds. They shyly shared a kiss with each other. The table rose up from Ochako's quirk. It a different vibe like magic. The brunette was too into the moment to realize. Oh my gosh, I'll undo this quirkly. She positioned her hands together. Deku rubbed her arm. It's perfect. Makes this night more magical. He winked at her as she laughed. They ordered couple rolls of sushi and miso soup. Now it was time for dessert in front of where different type of flavor mochi. Ochako picked up a black one. Story continues below. This one looks interesting. No, I take it back, it tastes awful. What flavor is it? She coughed and sipped the water. Izuku glanced down at his menu. Soy sauce and seaweed. Why didn't you tell me in the first place? You're the one with the menu. The gravity girl reasoned out. It was one mochi menu per person and Izuku was taking his time. So she trusted it onto him, which was a big mistake. I dunno, figured you'd wanted to go out of the box. Trying something different seems like you. The green joked at her. She gave him a pouting look. I asked you the flavors 2 times. Jerk, I know you did that one purpose. They both laughed it off. Ochako cleared her throat. I'll let us down now, release. The table landed on the ground. Want to take a walk outside? Then we'll call it a night. Izuku helped her up. Sure, let's go. They strolled for a few minutes. Eventuality stopping by a nearby bench. Ochako began a serious conversation. Deku, you know what happens next, right? We are going to graduate and become pros. That means that we are going to be doing our own things. Fulfilling what we've been training to be, actual heroes who can save others. Her big brown eyes found his emerald green ones. Yup, we barely started, but at the same time we are closer to what we've been working towards. We're going to be real heroes. It's kind of nerve-wracking to think about. Considering we've been at UA for almost 2 years now, then incidents happened, good and bad, that I learned a lot of things from. No, we all have. We've come a long way. These situations will do nothing but drive us forward. Izuku talked so passionate, like he always did, about what he has learned, attending UA while also giving credit to his friends as well. This made Ochako so happy. She could listen to him talk for the longest time. At the same time the mood toned down a little. She sniffed, pulling down on her dress. What do you think going to happen after? She questioned. Ochako noticed how tense he got, regretting she brought it up. Ochako glanced down as Izuku lifted her face. Honestly, I don't know. For me, at least a retired pro hero. If I don't make it to number 1, doesn't change the fact that I'll try to be though. You know we have to had talk about this sooner or later. I'm glad you brought this up. Ochako nodded her head, a little saddened, as part of her wished to have heard something else. Still, she understood where Izuku came from and inspired to do the same herself. She glanced down, embarrassed. You don't have to try, Deku. I know you will. I get it, you want to do the best. You can to make the world a better place. That's the hero in you that I deeply admire. For me, I want to be a pro too. Hopefully by that time, I'll be someone who can make my parents proud. Noticing this, Izuku placed his hand over hers and smiled, snatching her attention back to him. He moved closer, tucking a loose strand of hair behind her ear, to make her find him again. He gently held her face on the lower part of her cheek, close to her neck. She breathes in his mint scent. Their faces were close to where they could see each other's features. Her round face, brown chocolate eyes. His emerald eyes, an oval face with his cute freckles above his cheeks. Story continues below. They go in for a sweet kiss. I believe you. I really do, Ochako, you work so hard. Your parents see that and I do too. You know how I know. They raised a wonderful daughter. Deku kisses her hands. Happy tears streamed down her face. Deku's words really hit home for the Gravity Girl, lifting the doubt of worry on her chest. Making her feel safe, she laid her head against his chest. He always knows what to say to make her feel important. She doesn't have to be ashamed or hide anything when she's with him. It made her feel free. It's one of the things she loved the most about him. Izuku sighed, hugged her and kissed her forehead. I've been thinking about us. I want a future with you, Ochako, that will never change. I promise I'll always come back to you. No matter what, we are in this together. Are you okay? She smiled as his words assured her. I am now. I want a life with you too, Izuku. I think no matter what happens, our paths will always cross. I love you so much. She stood and hugged him. He rested his head on her shoulders, touching her soft brown hair. They stay like that for a while. I love you too, Izuku whispers into the girl's ear softly. Ochako glanced down at her phone, realizing how late it was. Time does pass when you really enjoy it. Huh, she held Izuku's arm towards her. We better head back to the dorms. Yayorizu just texted me, her and Ida just came back. I really had fun tonight, Deku. I wish this night would never end. It's not over yet. I'm going to make sure you enjoy every moment of it, just trust me, okay? She widened her eyes, giving him a look. I always do. They took the train back to the dormitory. The two reached the Heights Alliance entrance. Hand in hand, Izuku turns Ochako to face him. He gripped her shoulders, the girl smiles. The moonlight was glowing against her clear skin. Her eyes were filled with sparkles. Deku, is everything okay? She brushes his right arm. He hands her a blindfold. Perfect. Put this on, I have a surprise for you. Wanting to secure her, Izuku covers her face with his hands over the blindfold, close enough to feel the softness of her skin. Izuku held her hand, leading her to the front of the school. He took off her blindfold. Almost. We're here, surprise. When they get there, the UA building was covered in pink roses. There was also a banner that read, I love you, Ochako, on the top. Collages of the two and their friends were on there. Ah, Izuku. I don't know what to say. Happy tears were flowing out of her. Back when we had our moment after the battle. Ochako, you told me the first time. You realized you loved me was at the entrance exam. When I saved you from the robot. This is mine. The first time I met you, Ochako. You saved me from falling with your quirk. I couldn't even get a single word out. Yet my heart was beating like crazy. Ochako, you were always the shoulder I could lean on, from giving me pep talks when I needed them. Cheering me up when I was down. Most of all, you've helped me see myself in a different light. That's how I fell for you. She laughed softly. I fell for you way back in the students versus teachers exercise. In a way, I have Ioma to thank for that. When he mentioned your name, I lost total concentration and we almost lost our fight. I felt so guilty. After that I pushed what I felt down. Then during the provisional license exam, my feelings for you become stronger. I couldn't deny it anymore. She confessed, not breaking eye contact. His hands were on her waist, as her arms were wrapped tightly around his neck. Wow, that long ago, huh? Oh yeah, that's interesting. We might have to talk after this. Ochako, I'm glad you finally told me. I know it must have been hard for you. Izuku stroked her cheek. It was. I was just afraid to be a distraction. I know now that's not the case. I feel good it's out. Now you know, and it makes me happy. Ah yes, the entrance exam. Where it all began for us. Little did we know we'd be like this now. I guess we were just meant to meet that day. I'm so happy I met you. Ochako, you never were a distraction. If anything, you lift me up. That when I'm weak, you're the person I think about. You see me through like no one else. Their faces were close enough to feel each other's warm breath. The moonlight brightly shined over their faces. I'm kind of happy I met you. Not so sure. He joked and chuckled. She rolled her eyes. You're such a dummy. Get over here. She laughed as their foreheads touched. They were lost in each other's eyes again. As Izuku whipped away her tears, he creases her left hand, taking a box out of his pocket, placing it something on her finger. A ring with an emerald diamond heart. Oh Izu, it's beautiful. The two tightly hugged again. It's a promise ring. That way you'll never forget me. You'll have me with you always. I love you, Ochako. How could I ever forget you? I love you so much. They kiss. Ochako rubbed her hands through Izuku's hair. What about you, Deku? Do you have one too? He positioned out his right hand on hers, showing the pink diamond on his ring finger. Yes, that way I'll always carry you with me too. You're amazing. Thank you so much, Izuku. You're welcome, Ochako. They embraced as they were each other's safe place. The green walked the brunette to her dorm room. They continued to hold hands, having an endless conversation, until she reached her door. Good night, Deku. She smiled at him, catching one last glimpse. Good night, Ochako. Izuku held her face and kissed her on the cheek. See you tomorrow. He ran off and she smiled, her head still on cloud 9. Yeah, I'll see you. She closed the door and changed for bed, having nothing but good thoughts. From the date, wondering about how lucky she is. The boy does the same as he laid on his bed. He is the most luckiest guy ever. It felt so magical. Magical it was indeed. And, hey guys, update. Thank you all for your support. We are at 12k reads. I can't believe it. I appreciate you all so much. You are the reason I write more to come. Until next time, lovies.
Know that if we communicate, peace will be ours till the end. Don't fall apart.